Everybody told us Narita was too far from Tokyo. Everybody told us TeamLab was a tourist trap. And everybody told us we had to see Shibuya Crossing. Nobody told us, though, that an art museum could smell like the best flowers you've ever smelled. Nobody mentioned the best view of the crossing is from the second floor of a skincare store. And nobody warned me that Tower Records in Shibuya is 9 floors tall and that I would lose in there. 3 days in Tokyo, a tower of empty sushi plates I'm not apologizing for, and 1 handmade soda I overpaid for on purpose, and a neighborhood I would probably move to tomorrow if I spoke Japanese. I'm Josh, that's Renee, let's go, this is Phone Keys Go. We're coming back from our trip to Japan and we're sharing it with you. Last where we left off was our flight from San Francisco to Narita. We took this night train, or not night train, the Narita Express, which ended up being super helpful. I was really scared of landing at Narita because everybody made it seem like you were 10 million miles away from Tokyo, which you are, but you're kind of exhausted even if you slept the whole time. You get on the train, it only takes an hour, and then you get to your hotel and you're set. First night, I think we went to Family Mart? I can't recall. And we basically just passed out, but passed out cold. We stayed at like a Japanese brand hotel because all the Western chains seemed really expensive compared to them, but they seemed just as nice, if not nicer, the Japanese hotels. And so we stayed at a Mitsui Garden Hotel. It's like a chain there. And honestly, my favorite thing was how many freaking amenities you could choose from at the beginning. Like every day I'd just be like, do I need a comb? Do I need mouthwash? Do I need this? And I didn't have to go ask somebody for it. It was just like buckets of free or complimentary items that you could take to your room with you, including the bags itself, which I really loved. But our home base for the first 2 days in Tokyo, we stayed in a neighborhood called Roppongi. And spoiler alert, I would absolutely stay in Roppongi again. I think for some people it might be a bit overwhelming, but I didn't feel like I was in, you know, the center of the universe of, you know, the Shibuya crossings of the world where it's just absolute kind of controlled mayhem and chaos. And I loved that, but I loved Roppongi because there were elements of like big city vibes, feeling like when you're in New York City that you can do anything at any time, but also it does quiet down a bit, even though there are still things to do anytime you decide to leave your hotel room, honestly. First stop was TeamLab. Some people describe it as a tourist trap. It's a digital art museum, and I feel like that's a huge undersell. Well, first of all, TeamLab is a collective. It's a collective of Japanese art. And Borderless is one of their Tokyo installations, and it's moved into Azabudai Hills. And Azabudai Hills is just this amazing complex. They call it, like, I can't remember the exact term, but it was like a city within a city, like a micro city. Huge towers, you know, amazing shops, amazing food. Like the grocery stores there made me feel like I'm having fine dining and I'm just getting, you know, my little onigiri at the store or my juice. And I did not feel worthy. I did not feel worthy. I felt like I was a fish out of water for a moment, but I freaking loved it. And so within this giant complex of space within Tokyo, which is already a complex of space in its entirety, we were kind of shocked at how close it was actually. We used Roppongi as our home base. And so we'd always kind of look at Tokyo Tower, looking at Tokyo Tower and thinking, okay, that's the big tower. And Azabudai Hills was really, really close to that. And I loved how we could just use Tokyo Tower and Azabudai Hills as kind of our landmarks for where we were. And this is just like a small part of Tokyo. It has over 50 artworks. It feels like a lot more in there, whose whole thing is they don't stay in their rooms, right? Borderless is this concept of why does it have to stay here? Why can't it just move? It works from one space and walks into another and interacts with whatever it finds there, hence that name Borderless. I was chased by butterflies. I was chased by flowers and paint. I saw some sort of chanting drum thing. I'm not exactly sure what I saw. They look like reptiles. But I loved it. Every time I went into another room, things would magically sort of appear and follow me. Like, for what it's worth, it smelled really good in there. And it smells like flowers in here. Well, it smells really good. Normally I hate butterflies. There's like butterflies on you. No, don't disperse.
How much has time changed that you're not scared of the
They're not real butterflies. What you reading about, Renee? What are you reading about? By the way, every time I looked online and read about this place, no one tells you it smells like flowers in different places. And I just thought it was gorgeous. Like, who doesn't want to walk into a room and think, oh, it smells like nice flowers in here? I guess if you have a terrible flower allergy, you might not want that, but I loved it. And that scent is piped into different rooms, and your brain doesn't know what to do with that. With an art installation, basically, that you can smell, your brain is overwhelmed in the best way, is the only way I can describe it. The rooms all bleed into each other, and there's no signs, no route, no, you are here. You're meant to get lost, and it works. About 40 minutes in, I stopped feeling disoriented, I will say. I really, at one point, wanted to find all the different rooms, all the different spaces. I am sure I did not. I would love to figure that out. I don't think I am built to just spend the whole day there, though. There's one of our favorite rooms. This is called Bubble Universe, and it only exists here. It's not in some other sites that have TeamLab's Borderless, and it's not on tour. There's these lit up spheres in this mirrored room. They said they had thousands, and they respond to where people are standing, so you don't notice it at first, but they light up in different ways. And as you saw in our business class video, Renee is a man of considered opinions and very few words in some cases, especially when he's stunned. He'll take a bit to process, but man, I could just see in his eyes at that moment, he was having a good time and loved it. So at a certain point, you'll be able to use your phone too to interact with exhibits. And one of the things that I loved about TeamLabs too was the ability to control things on your phone. Say, I want the lights to do this thing. And magically when you do it, the whole room would change, and people who weren't aware that you could do it on their phone would kind of just go, ooh, ah, and like, you know, it was insane. Like I said, I felt like I was in Interstellar in the scene where he's like, no, but like in a good way.
I don't know, but they constructed this three-dimensional space inside their five-dimensional reality to allow you to understand it.
You're standing in like basically a room that feels like it's being like almost rebuilt every time as it changes, and you and 40 strangers just never speak to each other but keep looking at each other. And it's this funny experience of people just staring at each other in disbelief and thinking, what the heck is going on in here? And so while it was our, you know, touristy experience, I certainly would recommend it. I think anybody who goes to Japan, give it a shot. It was well worth the money we paid. And finally, I'd say it took us through there 2 hours before we leave. Block out 3 if you're really determined to see all of the space. And there are YouTube videos or resources that will show you maps of where you could go, but we'd definitely be back. And despite being jet lagged, having slept maybe like what, 4 hours, I'm not really sure at that point. I blacked out basically after the flight. It's still something I would say do. And then we did what everybody does on their first night in Tokyo. We walked into a Don Quixote. We have read the advice, don't buy anything. We kind of just wanted to walk around and see what are all the things you can buy in there, and then also get the song stuck in our heads. Don Quixote.
It's a little purse.
And we met up with some friends for dinner where we ate at a restaurant that was in Kill Bill. Spoiler alert, and I apologize to my friends who had us go there. I still haven't seen Kill Bill. I'm sure I will watch it one day. I looked on Peacock because they have it on there, and it's like 4 hours long or 3 hours long, I believe. And I need to sit down through that in my home. I don't want to watch it on my laptop. And the food was, I will say, it wasn't my favorite food of the trip, but it was really nice to see my friends, and also for us to, you know, get like our first like Japanese meal. I'm in Japan with RJ. And Renee's here. We got the whole group. It's gonna be great. See ya. By the way, quick announcement, we're on Instagram at PhoneKeysGo and TikTok at PhoneKeysGo, and that's where stuff that doesn't make it into these videos goes, or you can see what's kind of going on in our lives right now. Where are we going? Like I said, we booked some British Airways flights recently on business class with that bonus, so there's a lot of it. Link is down below. Please give us a follow there. We'd love to see you there. For second full day, we were in Shibuya, and everyone's seen this crossing, right? This is not a shock to the eye, but what nobody mentions is the best way to look at it, I feel, is going to the Café L'Occitane, which is that, you know, French skincare company, and going to their cafe, which I didn't know exists, on an upper floor, and do nothing but eat, drink, and watch the people down below for about 20 minutes.
I got the croissant that's pressed into a waffle.
Looks good.
Salmon avocado sandwich.
And then I got the croque monsieur.
It comes with a little soup.
Yes, looks delicious.
Tea. Renee, this is so good.
Right?
Very
It's very
fragrant.
refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It's an
really,
Earl Grey?
Yeah, it's an Earl Grey.
I feel like it has a flower or something, like lavender or something.
It's definitely very floral.
Very
Yeah, it's
yeah.
Café L'Occitane. A little pricey, but it is pretty delicious. Look around. We're in Shibuya. 1 second.
Arigato. Are in front of what we haven't ever heard of, a L'Occitane
Cafe. We went to L'Occitane Cafe. It was delicious.
Very delicious.
Yeah, pretty good price too. Like not cheap, but
No, we
pretty
did a
nice.
meal side, and it
Yeah.
was about $16 per person.
Yeah.
USD.
Basically a very hearty brunch. And now we're gonna go to some places that we've marked on our Google Maps without really ever thinking about it and seeing if what we thought would be interesting was interesting. So
Yeah.
let's walk around Shibuya. But as we made our way across, we visited a few places. We went into Magnet and we had to check out the Gachapon, which are these capsule toy machines. 200, 300, 500 yen a go, and there are floors of them. You guys, like there are floors and floors and floors of this. It's so cool. And the thing about Gachapon or any capsule toy is you don't choose what you get exactly. So you kind of are just you're choosing a category. Like here are your 5 options you could get, and you put your coin in there and hopefully you get the thing you wanted. I didn't put as much money as I thought I would in the Gachapon machines because for me, I was scared of getting things I really just didn't want. And, but I did eventually do it. And I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. We're in Tower Records in Shibuya. I'm gonna get a copyright strike probably in 2 seconds, but the amount of music memorabilia they have in the store is insane. I am informed now as a younger person that Tower Records used to be much more of a thing. I just knew it from Tokyo, honestly. I knew that when I went to Tokyo, I wanted to go to Tower Records in Shibuya, see if I could pick up I picked up a Lady Gaga Art Pop Japanese edition, which I love, and it came with a DVD with a video of Lady Gaga's arrival to Narita Airport, so that's a slay. I still have to watch that DVD, but there's so much memorabilia in there. Like we saw Michael Jackson's handprint when he visited the store back in the day because they were promoting that new movie at the time, Michael. And there are 9 floors of this store. It's still there. It's the Tower Records. They are not of the mantra that physical media is dead, and neither am I. I love physical media. I have a vinyl collection. I absolutely wanted to add more, but I was scared about transporting it. Especially this cool Japanese edition of Brat by Charlie XCX. But physical media clearly is not dead. It's just based in Shibuya now, and I loved it. We were getting a little bit tired, and I'm gonna be honest with you, a little hangry. And so at a certain point, Renee wanted to go get his Sunny Angels, and I couldn't handle it. So I let him go into the store to look at his Sunny Angels, which are these small vinyl figures. And much like the Gachapon, as I described earlier, they're sold blind, so you don't know which one you're getting until it's open, unless you decide to buy the whole lot. But really, what's the fun in that? I like a surprise, and I think so does Renee. Just like that, Renee is navigating us now to the Sunny Angel store. And it's crazy out here. There's just so many people everywhere. They made him scan like a QR code, get a number for all these things, but then they just immediately let him in, so I'm not really sure why. Seems like it's just to build popularity, but it's pretty cute. So when he comes back, we'll have to see what he got.
I got little Sunny Angels, and I've been inspired by my friends / coworkers, but I've been wanting hippers to attach to little things because I think they're just funny now. I have a little cherry blossom edition. There's like several little different characters that I could get. And then there's these little pastel animals that I think are so cute. It's called the Dreaming series. And then I was like, there's nothing cuter than a freaking fruit or a vegetable. So that's the Harvest series. And then I was like, what's cuter than a little cat with a little outfit? Little Mofusun? I don't know how you say it. But they're in like little sharks and octopus.
Cute.
So cute. That's what I got.
And you'll open those tonight or when we get back to the US?
When I get back to the US.
Oh, free?
No, tax-free.
Not tax-free.
Non-tax-free.
And then shout out to Renee's co-workers who I guess are responsible for us spending a lot more money on this than we expected on the trip. You know who you are. Something I want to tell you about properly. I really wanted to try this. It's touristy, but do it, you guys. There's a reason tourists love doing things, okay? Sometimes you don't want to do it, just do it. It's called Iyoshi Cola, and it was so delicious. I've never had like a handcrafted cola in front of me. How handcrafted is handcrafted? That's subjective. So listen, if you're as we get to know each other, you're gonna know I love a little beverage. Okay, I have like my McDonald's FIFA cup right in here. It's just water, but I love my liquids. Okay, so does Renee. We love our liquids. It's something we say quite often. One of the things that our algorithms fed us when you are inevitably bombarded by them as soon as figured out you want to go to Japan, or that you're going to Japan for that matter, is this place called Iyoshi Cola. And it's on something called Cat Street, which is between Harajuku and Shibuya. But it reminds me of that meme where they're like, this establishment, this diner in New York City still serves Coca-Cola the old-fashioned way. But this place makes this, craft handmade cola in front of you, and it's served in a bag, which like slay. I don't know why, I just think that's a slay. They add the syrup, they add the water. I had mine with milk added from Hokkaido because I thought if I'm going in on this, I'm going, in on this. And so the vibe in there was very much like, steampunk, retro, Tokyo, artisan meets New York, kind of crazy. But at the end of the day, we are just there to drink a very delicious soda. And critics be damned, it was delicious. I loved it. Even my little weird milk concoction was delicious. The founder goes by Kola Kobayashi, and his grandfather was a wankanpo craftsman, which is like this Japanese herbal medicine. Kobayashi inherited the workshop and the techniques. And instead of doing what you might expect, he decided to make cola. He uses cola nut, he uses citrus, and more than 15 spices. And don't be afraid of spice, white people, okay? Like, don't be afraid. You hear the word spices, let it happen, okay? Let it happen. And no, there's two options on the menu. There's the regular cola, which is like 750 yen. Look up the conversion rate right now. I'll just put it down here as of today, but the yen has been a little whack for a minute. And then there's one for 2,000 yen. By the way, viewer, I did buy the 2,000 yen one because I am on vacation and I thought, why not try it? And that was day 2, Tokyo Tower on the walk home. I mean, like, come on, that was our landmark, as I said, which honestly, like, maybe spray myself orange with a terrible spray tan and I could be Tokyo Tower as well. Third day in Tokyo, we decided to go to a neighborhood called Naka-Meguro to visit our friend RJ, who took us to dinner the first night, but we want to spend some more one-on-one time with RJ. And here he is.
Naka-Meguro.
Naka-Meguro with RJ.
Yes.
Renee's here too. Hey. And RJ showing us all around town. This is like one of your favorite spots in Tokyo, you think?
Yes, my favorite spot.
Okay,
Everything's in here. Compact city, walkable.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. Yeah, and not too, well, we're the tourists, we're making it work, but not too touristy yet. Feels like an entirely different city. Renee looked it up at one point. He said, it's the Brooklyn of Tokyo. I kind of understood what he meant after having been in New York so many times and Renee also being from there, but I thought, okay, Brooklyn of Tokyo. It's built along the Meguro River, which is like a canal. To me, it looked like a canal. It didn't look like the rivers I'm used to here from the Pacific Northwest. There's something like 830 cherry trees along this 4-kilometer stretch of canal, river, whatever you want to call it, that are just gorgeous in the springtime. Man, I wish we had been able to make it then, but it was still freaking beautiful when we went. And they were green, lovely, but green. And if you come for the blossom season, it's in late March to early April. Everybody's wanting to go to Tokyo during that time, but it's just this canal and a lot of very good coffee, a lot of very good food, small shops that we went into where I would look at Japanese clothes that don't fit me. And instead of feeling bad about myself, I'd be like, do you have hats? And I would buy something cute like that. Honestly, I just loved it. It was just so relaxing despite the heat and humidity. There was just something to see there. This is the shot, by the way. This is what I would put up on the wall behind me, okay? Conveyor belt sushi. You order on a tablet, it arrives on a belt, and you stack those empty plates as you go because that's how they work out what you owe at the end. Which means there is a physical, unarguable tower of evidence next to you the whole time of what you've eaten, but be proud because sushi's freaking delicious and there are a lot worse things that you could eat for yourself. And you're in the best place in the world to get some of the best sushi. Even the cheap one tastes a lot better. And let me tell you, a lot less sketchy than the gas station sushi you can find in America. Okay, so it's between naps. At this point, we had done a lot of napping. We were just like eating and napping and seeing things, which, yeah, absolutely, that's the way to do it. I'm not changing who I am at the end of the day. Evening now. Renee planned a very special dinner for us. Where are we going? Like Pizza Napoli.
Pizza Napoli Sasta. And it's the best pizza, or top one pizza
In Japan.
in Asian Pacific.
Number 2 in the world.
I thought it had number 2, but it's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be pretty good.
Yes, it's number 1 in Asia Pacific.
Yeah, I'm excited. And we're in Azabudai Hills. Pizza place is in the same building, by the way, as TeamLabs, which was kind of crazy, but the building itself, just gorgeous, has a giant plaza where Renee and I hung out afterwards. The amount of restaurants in there too, like, I would definitely try something else outside of what was just the pizza shop in there. But what time has passed. Here's some of the discussion Renee and I had about the pizza in the moment. I would say, it was good. I'm glad we did it. It is unique. I would recommend somebody try it if they're interested, but definitely not number 1 in the world. And I just don't think I am qualified to say it's number 1 in Asia. Is it burrata or is it just mozzarella? It looks like a very cold burrata.
It's just mozzarella.
No, it is. Look, there's a little soft layer in there.
That's not real. Womp womp.
That's good. Yes. Let's bring moist talent culture here.
Everything.
Yeah.
Let's bring everything.
Let's bring everything.
Let's bring little stores in the subways.
Okay.
I know it won't work for the light rail, let me tell you. Tragic. Let's bring back. Or actually, let's bring music in the bathrooms when you're taking a. There's a Franz chocolate here.
From Seattle?
Yeah. Yeah, look. Franz chocolate.
That's insane. Click on it. In Kyoto?
Yeah.
What day of the trip is this? Monday, Tuesday? It's Tuesday? No, Wednesday. So, pizza was good. I don't know if it's like the number 1 pizza.
But it's subjective, Josh said.
Yeah, it is subjective.
I don't think it's. I give it a B.
It was good. It was good. The crust was fluffy.
The crust was really fluffy.
Yeah, the crust was nice.
The service, not good.
What? I thought it was really nice.
They didn't even give us water.
I think we had to order water. That's the thing. It's like Europe. I don't know. But anyway, it was good. I'm glad we tried it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Off the bucket list.
Yeah, and it was in Azabudai Hills. Is it Azabudai?
No. Azabudai.
Azabudai Hills is a pretty cool complex. And
I think I said it right too.
now we're having our evening beverages. Renee had his Pocari Sweat. He discovered he was really dehydrated because it didn't taste as sweet as it did last time.
I thought the sweeter it tastes, the more dehydrated you are.
Intense.
Like it didn't taste salty.
No, exactly. That means you need the salt.
Yeah. But yesterday when I tried it, yours, it was like really sweet.
Well, yeah.
This time was like a bridge between.
You needed it more today.
I needed it more today than yesterday.
Yeah, because if it tasted really intense, yes, your body kind of like rejecting it. Like being like, oh, I don't need that. It's too much.
Wouldn't it be rejecting it because it's salty and not sweet? I'm confused.
It's okay. What? There's a big bug on you.
I think it's time.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna chug this and then we're heading home back to the hotel. And then tomorrow we head to Kyoto early in the morning. And I remember just sitting there thinking and saying, we've been here for 3 days and I don't want to leave. Like, I just don't want to leave. I know that's how I feel. Every time on a vacation, I just immediately start counting down the days. But the best problem to have is the next day we had to get on a bullet train to Kyoto. So coming up next, we take the bullet train, the Shinkansen, to Kyoto. We attempt to be quiet around the temples, which I will say we did do a good job. Don't read into that comment too much. And of course, we get to look at Mount Fuji on the train. We have some tips for you to make sure that that happens for you as well. See you on the next episode of our trip to Japan. Thanks for watching Funkies Go. Definitely go look at our business class review from previously. If it's out now, please go ahead and look at our Kyoto and other Tokyo videos. And until next time, I'll see you soon and safe travels. I think it's nothing, but then all of a sudden it's gonna come together and you're gonna be shook to the core. 3, 2, 1.